My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.
What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another action figure fix-up. Today we will be working on these three figures. We do have the WWE Elite Collection Series 31 Vader, Series 76 Otis, and then we have the Fan Takeover Seth Rollins. And what I'm going to be doing is a couple of head swaps and then adding some parts to one of the figures. So let's actually get these guys off the base and we'll explain what the fix-ups are going to be. So here we do have the three figures off my display base. So what we're going to be doing is actually doing a couple of head swaps and then adding some parts to one of the figures. So we'll actually start with Seth Rollins right here. Let's move Vader and Otis off to the side. So if you recall in my review of this particular version of Seth Rollins, I wasn't a fan of the head sculpt that they went with. I think it doesn't fit the mood that Seth Rollins had when he faced Brock Lesnar. I think that they have a much better face out there with this particular head of Seth Rollins. Now, I honestly don't want to take the head off my existing Seth Rollins right here. I think this is a really nice look for him. But I did manage to find another Seth Rollins in stores, so what we're just gonna do is pop his head off and put this head on this version of Seth Rollins, which I think that's gonna make this figure look so much better. So moving on to the next figure we're gonna be having a look at is Big Van Vader. Now, if you guys remember this Vader, I love it. It's such a really nice figure, and I do really like the fact that we have Vader. Now, it's my favorite attire that Vader has ever worn, but I wasn't a fan of the way the mask sits on his head. Now, I'm gonna actually show you guys what I mean. It's bulky, and that's to be expected. It's an overlay over, but just look at how much room there is in this mask. It doesn't really sit right at all. It moves around too much, and that's something that really I don't really like that. That's terrible. So if you guys remember my Big Van Vader review, I did mention that the unmasked Vader mask sits much better, and you know what, it honestly does. I don't know what it is about this head sculpt, or maybe the mask, but it doesn't move around at all. Like, this one moves around. This one, you can see it's a very nice fit. So all we're gonna do is pop the head off of this one. Thankfully, we only need to heat up his head. This one is interchangeable head, so we just had to pop this on, and then that should complete this one. So that we'll have the two versions of Vader. We'll have Big Van Vader and then Vader Time Vader. So I'm really looking forward to that. So we'll move Vader off to the side so we can go on to Otis, which is probably going to be the easiest fix-up, I honestly hope. What I never liked about this particular version, or this particular figure, was his knee pads. Those are terrible knee pads. Now, from a distance, they look good. Don't get me wrong, the knee pads look good from a distance, but as you get closer, ooh, sculpted on knee pads don't work at all. Not for me one bit. So thankfully Mattel was able to release a basic Otis, and this Otis has actual knee pads. I haven't seen anybody try this yet, or if they have, I haven't seen any of their videos. I'm going to try to swap or take off these knee pads and put them onto this figure. Now, I don't know if it's going to work. Just looking at it, this figure's thighs look so much more beefier than his. Oh, I don't know if this is even going to work. If it works, it'll work wonderfully. If it doesn't, I'm just going to return this Otis and get my money back for it. So let's actually work on Otis first, because I think that's going to be the easiest thing. I say that now, but I'm probably going to be struggling. Okay, so all we need to really do is get this knee pad off of Otis, and that's easier said than done. It is a really thick... Oh, never mind, it came off relatively easy. Let's just hope I don't tear it. So yeah, getting this knee pad, I thought this was going to be a lot harder, but yeah, I took this knee pad off no problem. So that's one that I'm halfway through well, a quarter of the way, because I still need to take this knee pad off and then put the new one on. This is the only part I'm going to show. I'm not going to show the heating up of Seth Rollins or Vader's head, because that does take some time. But this one's getting stuck on me. Yeah, I was really happy when I saw that the basic Otis had knee pads, and I wanted to see if this will work. So we are literally halfway through. We can get rid of that figure now. We don't need the basic Otis. I don't know if this is going to honestly work. Looking at it, this might not even work. This knee pad feels bigger than the actual knee, so no. We're already this far into it. Might as well just continue on. The train's going by. I do like doing candid videos with you guys, like unboxings and things like that. So, oh, that actually went on. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. Can I get it? I think it's gonna get stuck on his boot. If we wiggle his boot around, I think we can get over. I think we got it. Yes. Okay. So we're almost to the finish line, and oh, that's really. I think I got stuck. Elbow grease it, and it fits. It honestly fits. Yeah, I like that. It fits, and it covers up the knee pad wonderfully. I honestly like this a lot better, and I really wasn't expecting that to work as well as it did. Huh. I think I'm onto something. If you guys have the Elite Otis and want to have them with real knee pads, you do have to get the Elite 115 Otis, which is only like $10 at this point. Okay, that one went on much easier. Oh, but now we're getting through this little hump right here. This one's fighting me a little bit, so just wiggle it on through and get past his calf. Come on, we're halfway there. Well, 3/4 of the way there. We're past the halfway mark at this point. Get on there. And almost. This one is fighting me. But hey, I like that. That honestly worked better than I thought. Cool beans. We got Otis with actual knee pads now. No more of those painted on knee pads. So yeah, really glad I do have Otis with actual knee pads. I'm really happy about that. Alright, so let's actually get Otis. Did I do something wrong? Did I break the figure? I don't know, his leg seems to be going off at a strange angle. I think I did something wrong, because now his feet look a little bit weird. I don't know what that is. Did I mess up the figure? Hold on. I might have to heat his legs up just to get them lined up a little bit better, because you can see this one's starting to curve in. Maybe he just fell over and another figure was on him and that caused the leg to warp, but yeah, we do have Otis here, and I think that looks much better with the actual knee pads. So let's actually get Otis off screen. So we're going to heat up this Vader really fast, and then we're going to pop on this new head with the photoreal, and I think that's going to look so much better. So as always, we do have to take all the soft material off because we don't want to ruin that. And yeah, that comes off really easy. So it's going to take me like 2 or 3 minutes, but for you guys it's going to be like 3 seconds, and we're going to heat this head up so we can pop it off, and then we'll see what he looks like with the new head on. So sit tight, everyone. Alright, so now we do have the old head off Vader, so we can get that off to the side. And then this should be relatively easy. I think it's just going to pop on because it is an interchangeable head, and yes, it does just pop on. Oh, that looks so much better, and it moves around nicer too. So yeah, you can really see me moving the head. It doesn't move the mask around like the original one did. This seems to sit on the head better. I don't know how, maybe witchcraft. It's unknown to me how this sits better. But yeah, really do like the way this sits on Vader's head. So we do have our 2 figures so far. We have the big guys done. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on this Seth Rollins and give him his brand new smiling head. So I'm going to heat up these heads. Now you do have to heat up both heads because these aren't interchangeable, and I know there's a lot of problems with Seth Rollins heads that people break the pegs. The easiest thing to do is to heat it up for a really long time and then pop the head off. So we're actually going to take the vest off and then we're going to heat up both these heads. So I'll be right back, guys. Alright, so now we have successfully pulled off the head of Seth Rollins right here. If the camera will focus on it. Focus on the head, not on anything else. We do have this head that we just popped off for this really brand new Seth Rollins head, which this looks more like a guy who just beat Brock Lesnar and is happy about it. This looks like a guy who's waiting for the bus. So yeah, really happy with the way this turned out. I think I am liking this figure much more than I did originally. So what I'm going to do is let these guys cool off, especially Seth Rollins, and then we'll move on to my final thoughts and see what we did here, folks. So, ooh, this looks really nice and I am happy about this. So sit tight, everyone, while I get them back on the rotating display stand. And so here we have my updated Seth Rollins, Otis, and Vader pose for my final thoughts. And overall, I really did enjoy doing this. Otis was the one that surprised me. This is the one that I didn't think would work because the knees didn't look like they would accept these knee pads. But they actually did, and I'm really happy about that. That is so surprising that those knee pads fit on his tiny little knees. I'm really excited that he has actual knee pads now and they're not just sculpted on. As far as Vader goes, there was nothing wrong with the initial head sculpt. I just wanted one with the real effects face printing on it. The original Vader head is still a phenomenal sculpt, and they did just base this new one off of that. The mask, however, fits much better on this new version of Vader, and I can't explain why that is. It just does. It's tighter, it doesn't move around. There's something about this new sculpt on his mask that is so much better than the original one. Now, ideally, this Vader should have his mask sculpted on his face, and I think that would look so much better because Vader's mask was normally really tight, and that's something I really wish we could see one day out of Mattel. As for Seth Rollins, this was just a really simple head swap. There was nothing wrong with the original head that this Seth Rollins came with. I just didn't feel like the neutral expression fit the Beast Slayer. If you beat Brock Lesnar, you wouldn't be standing there looking like you're waiting for the bus. You would honestly just have the biggest smile on your face, and that's what this figure has, the biggest smile on his face. And I'm really happy I was able to swap heads because I think I like this Seth Rollins figure a little bit more now that he's not just waiting for the bus. So these figures are something that you can do on your own. I do think the only figure that's really hard to get hold of is the Elite 31 Vader. He is an outrageous amount on the second-hand market. I've seen him go in package for $229, which is insane. I know Otis is starting to get up there in price, but I do feel like they will release another Otis at some point. Hopefully not a shirtless one because I don't like that. But Seth Rollins here, it's a really simple Seth Rollins head swap, and if you have enough Seth Rollins figures, you can do this no problem without worrying about losing out on a good Seth Rollins figure. Overall, this is something I really did enjoy doing. I had fun swapping these parts, and if you want to do this too, all you guys need is the Elite 31 Vader, the new Legends Big Van Vader, the Elite Otis, the Basic Otis, the fan takeover Seth Rollins, and then any Seth Rollins with that smiling head expression will do the job. It doesn't have to be from the top picks. That's just one that I found in stores, so that's the one I use. Overall, I'm really happy with the way this came out, and if there's other figures you would like to see me update, let me know down in the comments and I'll see if I can get around to it. This is something I really do enjoy doing, and it's so much fun, especially when I have the time to do it. I really like the way Seth Rollins came out. Otis finally has knee pads, and Vader has a mask I can be proud of. So with that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other action figure fix-ups. Hopefully find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review or fix up, let me know down in the comments, and if I have the parts or that figure, I'll definitely have a look at it. As always, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time guys, I'll see you later. Take care everyone.